Biggie was just telling us about a trip he had planned. Now, he was going to Florida, and he was supposed to be there next week. We're on vacation next week. And now, and I've heard him say, yeah, I'm going. As yesterday, he said, yeah.
It's a running conversation that's been going on since before the summer.
Yes. Going to Florida.
Going to Florida.
They didn't want him there at spring break, so he was going to go to Nashville. That trip got canceled over an illness, COVID, all those things. Then he says, okay, I'm going to Florida. Can't wait to go to Florida. Now he just sprung it on us. I'm not going to Florida. And the reason is, finally, his mom said, you don't have to come if you don't want to. It's not the end of the world if you don't come to Florida. And his mom kept saying these things to him, like, oh, man, COVID's running wild down here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You need to, the hospitals are full. Don't.
Yeah, travel's risky.
Travel's risky. You don't need to. Finally, Biggie said, I guess my mom doesn't want me to come to Florida. And even though the rest of the family said, oh, we were going to have a week or whatever, Biggie said he realized he's just in the way if he goes to Florida. And Chris Demm said it.
I believe alcoholics will call this a moment of clarity.
You've had it.
Yeah, it is.
The therapist, we've had a breakthrough moment.
That's what therapists
That's
call
what therapists say breakthrough.
Biggie's had an epiphany.
And what
That's what the faithful call it.
That's right.
Yes.
Well, my mother lives in, a one-bedroom retirement home apartment.
Mm-hmm.
And what I've realized is I am in her way when I'm there. I take her out of her routine.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in her space.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in, there's only one bathroom.
Does she make a pallet for you on the floor?
Just throw the sofa cushions down.
Well, I'll tell you, we have, this is what happens. And she will let me take her bedroom basically when I'm there.
Oh, you're throwing your mother out of her own bedroom.
No, well, before, and see, my sister's building a home. Before, she would stay with my sister.
Mm-hmm.
Or we have, an air mattress she would pull out. Let's be honest, me on an air mattress, that air mattress is...
That's not
going to make
sense. Stand a chance.
Mom's got to go on that.
So she would always say, well, here, take my bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
And I would. And
Does she know about your weight?
Which is why she told me to take the bedroom. Not the air mattress.
Tell you were up a little from Christmas?
Yeah. And so I told her, I said, once Megan's, I'll be able to stay with my sister once the home is built.
They're building a house.
Yeah, they're going to have a nice guest room.
Right, yeah.
But what I've realized is that's what she just doesn't want me because I mess up everything.
Her routine is off.
Her whole routine is off.
Right.
I'm in her space. I'm in her bed. She's sleeping on an air mattress or, and I just realized that's why every time I say I'm thinking about not coming to Florida, she goes, oh, that's fine by me. Yeah, don't worry yourself about it. I didn't want you driving all that way anyways.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Well, yeah, it might get in the way. Maybe it's the layout of her garden home. It's not like the old place she had that I recall.
Yeah.
No, it's very different, Dave. You barely, wouldn't know your way around.
That's interesting. People that didn't hear that. One time, Dave...
This is several years
ago, Dave came in and had tripped over something in the night. And
Bad fall.
Hit his face on a credenza.
Is that your eye swelled up?
Yes, eye looked.
Or your mouth?
It was below my eye.
Yeah.
Right.
On the counter, on the high counter of the kitchen.
Like a goose egg under his eye. And he was telling that story because he warned us, I'm going to look facially disfigured today.
Like nothing I've ever seen
He came in, he had that huge goose egg. And in telling the story, he said, I got up, it was dark, I was trying to feel my way around. The layout is very similar to Biggie's mother's apartment. And I fell. And then at that point, after about 10 seconds, Kristen said, back it up a page.
Wait a minute.
Wait a minute. Today, someone would say,
the layout is what?
Wait a minute. It's a lot like Biggie's mother's place. And Biggie looked at him like, what? He's like, yeah.
How do you?
Oh, I got the blueprints on that, baby. I know how that one
Chris Demm's holding me back.
Yeah, that was
That's how I knew how to get around in both places in the dark.
Twice, Biggie and Dave have almost come to blows. Once it involved Dave stealing Biggie's new girlfriend.
The St. Patrick's Day massacre.
St. Patrick's Day massacre, which we witnessed. And then the other time when Dave said, yeah, it's very similar to your mother's pad.
Excuse you? ...
But I see her side of the story.
So I guess
in Florida,
I guess two of you have been in Biggie's mother's bed. You're not the only one.
Yeah.
So it happened.
Well, and two, I'll just be honest. My mom had a hard time adjusting at first down there.
Mm.
Now she has friends.
Yeah.
So I think I messed up that routine. Yeah. Because it's like, well, Tuesday is we have Chinese at Pat's house on Tuesday.
Yeah. So you're not.
So it's like, well, he's gonna be here Tuesday. Don't mess that up.
No Chinese at Pat's.
Yeah, so now
Chinese at Pat.
now I'm messing up her friend time.
They can't throw out an extra plate.
Yeah, no, yeah.
No, I guess not. This is not. I feel for you though.
You know, some people would say, family first.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
your routine can take a break sometimes.
That's your second vacation that has been canceled this year.
Now, if I go to FaceTime her when I know she's with my nieces, she just hands my nieces the phone because they're old enough now.
She doesn't want to.
Like, it's Uncle Josh.
That's it.
And then I'm just being drug around a house. I'm like, hello?
Yeah.
I'm still here because they just sit me down and leave me in a crib. Like, hello?
You poor man. You poor thing.
Well, I mean, yes. That is challenging to deal with. But maybe you can use this as an opportunity. Look at it as a free week.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. Go to the mountain.
Get some work done. Come in here.
Go to the beach.
Do some things that have been piling up. Come on in. This place will be open. It'll be quiet in here. You can come in and get some things done. I know you've been looking forward to
Clean that coffee cup of yours.
Yeah, clean the coffee cup. That'll take a day at the very least.
He's got 2 cups to clean.
That's going to wash. Yeah, that's going to be a long wash.
Go through some file work.
Or, just sit down and watch a little TV for a change.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe you can get to that. For a change.
Maybe a movie.
Yeah.
Be good to yourself.
Finally. Give yourself
I'll
that
treat
break.
myself.
That's right. I just read a stat that when people do anything, when they have one good day of either eating or working out or whatever, they almost always, 90% say, I'm going to treat myself. And then they go and get something the next day that they really shouldn't be doing.
Today I was good, so I'll reward myself.
What a mentality.
Oh,
Well, you were, Kelly, you were like kind of king of the building yesterday. You were like holding court with all the co-workers.
I was.
Podcasting this.
I was on a podcast down with
The
Jared.
boss gave you a glowing write-up.
He did.
Really?
That's all true.
And then it all fell apart.
I left my pants.
You left your dungarees at my desk.
You know what? I had my own moment of clarity. I got home, and my wife and kids pulled me aside. You remember that clip we played with Ashton Kutcher?
Kutcher.
He was at the
Game Day?
Yeah, he's at ESPN's Game Day, and because he had been honest about not showering very often, while he was on promoting a charity endeavor, the crowd behind him, and there were thousands there, started chanting at him, "Take a shower."
I'm working on a new charity project right now. It's called Outside Wine. And the whole idea is, at the end of the day, like, we can look at the data and
Take a shower.
Had him all disconcerted, didn't it?
Take a shower. Yeah, he was fumbling. He didn't know. Those are his people. He was in Iowa. That's where he's from. Yeah. Take a shower. That's his home. That's his base.
That's a good time ribbon.
I guess. Well, yesterday, the family pulled me aside and said, you need to change deodorants. You need to go to a clinical strength deodorant.
way. Oh, no. What, did they ambush you when you came in the door? Did you come in and have your ham sandwich like you? Or no, you ate here.
Yeah. No, it was dinner time. And after dinner, they said, we need
Clearing the plates?
Yeah. We need to talk to you about something. You need to change to a clinical strength deodorant.
Can I ask, if this is too painful, Kelly, you don't have to relive it, but who kind of took the lead? How did the conversation unfold?
My daughter had smelled my pits over at Wet n Wild during the summer, and that's where the conversation got started.
That's not fair on her. That's not fair to you.
That's not a fair day to judge.
I was leaning against a pole, and my pit was...
She's right there.
She's right under my
armpit
pit.
height.
That's her height.
Hot August day?
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
That's not fair.
That's not.
She mentioned it to her mother, and her mother says, I've been doing too much between pickleball and the workouts, and she said, I'm going to buy you a clinical strength deodorant. And I said, I don't need to. And she said, it's time. It's time you get.
You do need to.
That's what she said.
Don't you tell us.
So your mother figure and my mother figure.
Neither one's happy with you.
Neither.
How do you figure?
We both had interventions yesterday.
Really, really bad.
Yeah.
No.
You guys were flying high earlier.
We were.
Yeah.
And then just crash landed right down to earth.
Had you had a workout when this happened after dinner? Had you had a shower?
I had. I always shower after the workout.
Did you put on deodorant even though you weren't going out?
No. And I don't always.
Why?
I don't know. I just sometimes.
Because you're at home and
yes.
it's sitting right there.
I'm that way.
I feel like
If I shower, I'm not going out.
Yeah, if I take a shower at 5:30 in the afternoon, I'm not putting on deodorant if we're not going anywhere.
Exactly.
Oh, I'll put a stroke or two on.
Do you?
Do you?
Yeah, you just whoop whoop and you're done.
Well,
But see, for me, then it gets all over the bed clothing.
There's that. But then again, Dave.
I don't wear a shirt.
Dave never knows when a lady friend might stop by.
That's right.
True.
Sometimes you get
He
midnight.
needs to smell his best.
That's right.
Sometimes you get a little midnight at the Oasis.
I felt like Kutcher. I felt like they ambushed
Yeah.
me.
I'm working on a new charity project right now. It's called Outside Wine. And the whole idea is, at the end of the day, like, we can.
We're out of time. We're out of time. We have to go.
It's interesting. I was on the deodorant aisle yesterday.
Yeah.
And saw they've got quite an array now, and that's in a new place at the store I go to, Big Red Bullseye, and they had some charcoal at the very top. Expensive, but it was an Old Spice brand, but it has charcoal in it with some other fruits and flowers.
I said, can I try lavender, which I'd seen an advertisement for, and she said, oh, it's not going to be
You're a
close.
man.
No.
No, you're gonna have to have like charcoal
She said
or
that.
some sort of a killing agent.
Yeah, she
Is-
said. That's what she said.
Has she ordered this already? I mean,
No.
was she laying in wait with the new product?
She's going today
Ain't cheap.
to buy it. Well, she doesn't care. She said money's not.
You got to have it.
Oh yeah, you probably do have to have
That's
it.
what she said, and I just felt, I don't know.
Did your son
ambushed.
have anything to add to the conversation, Kelly?
What smells? Dad.
Dad, the smells.
Is that you or me?